Everyone, welcome to another episode of TurnBuckle Talk with Josh and of course Kraken. Kraken, what's up, man? How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's been a very odd week of wrestling for me. I haven't felt like the next 40 days are very WrestleMania wise, but outside of that, life's
I
been
agree.
great. Life
I've
has been
I,
good.
I've been saying that in my stream too. Is like after SmackDown on Friday, I said it. It doesn't feel like we're in Mania season. I said it on after Raw last night. I said it doesn't feel like Mania season. So I agree. Doesn't feel like it right now.
It's not. But other than that, how have you been?
Been all right, man. Just been staying busy and streaming and all the same stuff, man. Just like I was telling you a bit ago, I'll be going to that Colorado Springs wrestling show this Friday night with the homie
Hmm.
Dylan. That's gonna be fun. Gonna stream from it again. And then Saturday, I'm actually gonna be reacting to Reality of Wrestling. The Reality of
Yes.
Wrestling's having their I think it's a payout. I forgot what it was. Pay up. I think it's
Uh,
pay up.
pay, pay something like that.
Pay up, I'm thinking. I looked for a card
Hmm.
for it, but yeah, so Creators Person Network, they had that for the Saturday at I think 6 my time, I think it was, or 8 Eastern. It
It's
said
eight
6 on
Eastern.
yeah, okay, because on my side it just said 6, so I'm assuming that was 6 my time because it didn't say Eastern or nothing. But yeah, so I'll be live reacting to that Saturday, and then of course we got Revolution Sunday, so yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the week. And then my homie Rick G, my cousin's birthday is tomorrow, so I'm gonna go and celebrate that with him. We're gonna have some food and cake and smoke down, and it's gonna be a fun time.
It
Been
sounds
it's
like
been
it.
getting better. My mom's a lot better, and stuff's going well there. So yeah, things are getting better.
That's great to hear, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. But yeah, so let's talk about some wrestling news. The biggest one being My AEW, which is now a streaming network for international fans only, excluding Canada. So it doesn't
Hmm.
include Canada, of course, or the United States of America, but international fans. You now have a full service streaming service that's going to eventually have the full backlog of AEW and ROH, and you'll be able to watch Dynamite, Collision live on there, as well as the AEW pay per views and ROH. So there's three different tiers. There's a $7.99 tier, $20 tier, and then a year annual one for 119, I believe it is, dollars. And
Yep.
the highest tier you get the live AEW pay per views, the weekly episodes of Dynamite and Collision, and the back catalog to like it said some past pay per views. I guess not all of them yet. Of course, they probably have to get them all up there. But essentially, I feel like it's going to be a replacement for Triller. With Triller having a
Hmm.
lot of financial issues, of course, Triller does a lot of the international pay per views for a lot of countries. So I think that's what this is going to kind of be that in case something really goes bad with Triller.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. I seen the news, of course, on social media, and I went to check it out myself, because of course I truly have been waiting for the next big like thing for AEW. Like
Yeah,
they've been doing great, and then this is a huge step forward because when I was young, we had the WWE network, and you could do this as well. I think it was 9.99 back then, maybe even seven
dude,
ninety
it was
nine.
the best thing that, and it's one of those things that you didn't know what you had until it was gone.
Yeah, and now AEW is like, well, my AEW.com. I got everything, and you can go to it right now. And I
Hmm.
think it's probably season 2 of Dynamite's playing. Like that's how they're
Yeah,
running
yeah,
it
that's right.
on
I forgot. There's a
constantly.
24/7 channel going. Yeah, so I totally
Yeah.
spaced that part out. Yeah, so thank you for bringing that part
So
up. Yeah.
it's it's fantastic for people that are like, oh yeah, they're just numbers are falling. Now this right here, this is it's I cannot wait to see how many people actually watch all the past stuff
Hmm.
because they're gonna see the growth in the company that we've seen this whole time.
Dude, it sucks that it's only for outside of the US or I guess technically North America.
Mhm.
But obviously a lot of us already use VPNs to watch like I watch NXT because don't get NXT live in Colorado on
Yep.
DW. It starts at 7 in Colorado, which is an hour after it starts live East Coast time. So it's kind of shit. I have to watch it with a VPN, which works great. So obviously I already use it. So I'm gonna and I used to use it for Triller all the time. I still do. But now with this, I don't know if it did it fully start. So could I use this to watch this Sunday's Revolution? Is it possible?
So I do believe so. I know personally, I checked it out. I pulled it up, not using my VPN. The
Yeah.
second I pulled it up using my VPN in a place that it was active at, it automatically gave me the service plan options. So I would assume so.
Yeah,
That
because
if
I went to
hey,
it here in the
doing
States
live.
and it let me create an account, but like I didn't use my VPN to view it yet. So I'm gonna have to go and check that out because I know there's the monthly $20 one. I think you get the pay-per-views. I know the $7.99 you don't get the live pay-per-views, but the $20 monthly. So I don't know if I'll do that. That's still a lot cheaper than because Triller is kind of the same. And sometimes they make you do the AW Plus, makes it like 27, which isn't still. It's a lot better than the $50 on HBO or on Prime. I think it's 40 on HBO because if you have a subscription, it's still $50 you're paying for the subscription and the fucking pay per view on top of it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so either the Prime option or Max is still 40 to $50, which is a lot. Even like people complain about W's $30 ESPN Unlimited shit, which sucks. Obviously now more cables networks are finally getting like Comcast, Xfinity are now part of like if you have Xfinity and all that channels like the ESPN channels now you get ESPN Unlimited with it. So now I'm waiting for that with YouTube because I have YouTube TV. So I mean obviously I still
Mhm.
watch with the VPN anyways, but yeah. So this is great for AW. It sucks that WWE has everything so spread around. So eventually I hope this translates back over at least here in the States to us, and same with Netflix and WWE here in the States because everywhere else they're like yeah we just watch Netflix for everything. So annoying that we have to watch it. No, here. Pay for this. It's so stupid.
It is. So I did a little bit of math right there. Um, so HBO Max, I know I bought it there a few times to watch the pay-per-views. It's like $45, 42, something like that.
Yeah,
So for 10 months, because most of the time AW does pay-per-views March through December.
yeah,
January, February is kind of the off months. It's like I think it was like five something, give or take. And
yeah.
then it also gives you Ring of Honor Club plus their pay-per-views on
So
there.
all the weekly Ring of
So you gotta
Honor
think.
and their
You
pay
gotta
per views.
think. Yeah, so that's what I think 8.99, 7.99. So it's right at another $100 for 12 months. So you're
Yeah.
saving probably $495, $500 in total
Damn. For the annual, the one whatever,
for the
120.
1 year plan on my
So you're
AEW.
saving $400 to $500 on all of that instead of buying Honor Club and buying the pay per views in Prime. Well, like for us Americans on Prime or Max, you're saving that much money. You just use a VPN. You could do it on your phone, and then you could cast it to your TV that way. So if you're like, I don't have like a high end PC or like a lap, or you just have a
Mhm.
laptop that you could even hook up through HDMI to your TV, and you just get a VPN service that way. I personally have used NordVPN with some pretty good results. I would recommend it. I think you've used Surfshark. So those are two that you could look into. I've also used ExpressVPN, so check them all out. We're not
Mhm.
even sponsored. Those are just best way to save you money to watch all the wrestling you want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Surfshark has saved me a lot of commercial headaches over the last 4 or 5 months. So
See, I like my commercial counter. It's good content, so that's why I don't watch Raw and SmackDown on the VPN. Because I mean, I'll still count them, but I'll lose it because then I don't go to commercials, so then I don't count it. Sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, where are we at? Like,
yeah, yeah.
sorry guys, I'm not seeing them all tonight. So I kind of like I like the content of like, damn, we're at 15. Like fuck, 15 times they
God,
pulled
I
us
would have.
away.
I'd hate to see how bad it is on
That's
SmackDown now
Fridays.
with it
That
being
is. That's 15
3 hours.
times. That's SmackDown, bro. They pull us away usually around 14 to 15 times. That's just how many times we get sucked out of the show.
That's horrible. And
Yeah,
at
it's
two and a half,
insane.
3 minutes of time, that's too much.
Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, so and then the other big news that not even really big news, but something I thought was interesting because I think we both bitched about it, the Ricky Saints concert last Tuesday before
Oh
Vengeance
my
Day.
god,
So according
yes.
to Fightful Select, I didn't even know this though, but it was pulled that segment, like the footage and stuff. That, they
Mhm.
always share it to their social media. That like they didn't post it or like they pulled it after they shared it because it was received so poorly online that they pulled it all.
I mean, I'm not meaning to laugh, but God almighty,
Well,
it was
me and you were
bad.
saying last week how like this was so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I I, I don't blame him. Like, I was really expecting him to come out with something, but it was nothing. It was more of a Joe Henry rewrite song than
It
anything
really
else.
was. It was so terrible. So I'm glad that they listened. Pulled the footage. I'm like, yeah, let's act like that.
I don't know who listens to the critics on that aspect, but hey, I'm glad they did.
Exactly. I agree. So let's talk about Vengeance Day. Speaking of Ricky Saints, so that was the PLE from Saturday, and
Mhm.
had only 4 matches, but they did a segment with Soul and Zarya and JC that set up the triple threat for next Tuesday for the title. There was nothing really big in that segment, kind of typical, like, oh, JC's out here to hear what Robert Stone had to say for her title. She talked shit. Oh, here comes Zarya saying that she's gonna get it, but then Soul come out and talk her shit saying she's gonna get it. Led to the brawl, kind of typical wrestling trope.
Typical, yeah.
So nothing too crazy
Typical
there.
promo build, nothing. I mean, I think they may have tagged afterwards, maybe, and I think Laney might have hit a running knee, which set up the
Oh
match
yeah, the
tonight.
receipt she calls it or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a sick
yeah,
finish. Yeah, so that's what set
that's
up Soul,
nasty,
and
yeah.
that was a fun match tonight, to be honest, too. I thought that was really good. But yeah, so that was a cool little segment to set up the triple threat for next Tuesday. They're gonna be live in Houston. So we had some 3 women matches on this PLE, and then of course we had 2 men's matches, a title match, and then Tony D and Dion. This was a chaotic PLE. I really enjoyed the flow of this PLE. Obviously, besides the commercials and stuff that we get in between, or like the little ads that leads before the promos,
Yeah.
or the video packages. But Blake and Jada street fight was a great opener.
It was, and I think it actually felt like somewhat of a street fight.
Oh, 100%.
Because of course we've been getting street fights that's not felt like that in the past.
Yeah.
This match really delivered, and I'm telling you what, when Jada hit that steps, like she played it
Oh, with the
off
hip attack, yeah,
well.
yeah, the hip
Yeah,
attack into
like
the or hypnotic or whatever, yeah,
I
yeah.
swear I
She
thought
sold the
hip
shit
was
out of her
gone.
hips the whole match after that. I also liked how, of course, the crowd wanted the tables. It's kind of the typical wrestling crowd chant now, kind of like the new "what we want tables" thing.
Mhm.
And of course, Jada was getting the table, and Blake did the whole where she shoved it back under. So I loved
Yeah,
that. That was great heat for Blake. But yeah, no, I agree. It was very chaotic. A lot of weapons used. She used diamonds. She had like a bag of diamonds that she dumped out instead of tacks or whatever. And they, of
hmm
course, they're not real diamonds, but they're some type of gem. I'm assuming they were probably legit something hard that would hurt. So they did
yeah.
bump into that a few times, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, it was a pretty fun match. You know, we went through the table, used kendo sticks. But yeah, Blake with the win, and then we saw tonight on NXT she might be going back after that North American title. So
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jada had a lot of momentum. I feel like in 25.
she really did.
And,
I feel like she's
and
lost a
now,
lot of big matches, like pivotal like feuds for her.
yeah, and now they've kind of like, just slowed her down. And I don't know, maybe, and I think tonight, or not tonight, on Vengeance, they kind of debuted a different intro. Or maybe it was a week
She
before.
did
So
have a
maybe
new
they're
theme song, yeah. So she had a brand new
maybe it's a
theme.
character
I forget if
change.
it was Vengeance Day or I think it was Vengeance Day. But yeah, so she did have a new theme song. It was still the same vibe, but it was different. So did OTM, I believe, had a different theme as well recently, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
So she's really separated herself away from OTM because, of course, she came in with them
Mhm.
and they were trios or kind of a trios. But yeah, it's interesting how they've just slowed her down. I feel like she could have easily already been NXT Women's Champion after JC, but now
She hasn't won any
they've
title, has she? Not even like the women's speed title or nothing.
no, not even been in the opportunities. I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like she's lost a lot of her big feuds. Did she lose like the feud with Lola, like the last match and stuff? I don't even remember. Even though
hmm
that wasn't that okay,
Yeah, because that's what set up her and Kalani,
right?
Lola and Kalani. So yeah,
So I don't know. Like I don't know. They kind of did the same with a few people. I feel like in the division, like Soul, like was stuck in. I mean, she was North American champion, but she felt like she wasn't doing a whole lot as like champ there for a while.
I think that's because Soul had that knee injury. I think like she came back and they kept her slow just so she could get back into the rhythm.
That's
And then when
true.
she finally did,
But didn't
we've
she have the title
seen
a
the.
bit before that too? Like for a few months or a month or something. I don't know. Anyways,
Mm,
I'm just hoping that she. I mean, she's always featured. I feel like. I mean, obviously Jada took a little time off too. I feel like not too long ago. She was off for like 3 months.
yeah, yeah,
And
she did.
so she was off after the Lola stuff and then came back for this stuff and automatically loses already the feud with Blake. And it was going like what, 2 matches. Um but
hmm
yeah, she lost both. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it because I think she's a star. She always gets big reactions. So
Yeah, she will. She's over with the fans no matter what. You put her in the heel scenario, she still seems to be over, even as a face. So I'm not worried, but I just think that maybe they need to go ahead and possibly, give her something. Give her the speed title. Get a title on her.
get a
See
title
how
on her.
she
I
can
agree.
carry it, and then hey, we're gonna have you drop this one. We're gonna push you to the next one. Let's go ahead and start that. We'll pass
Or
that.
she gets the Nia Jax and just goes right up to the main roster after like not too long down in NXT. I mean, she's been there a few
Yeah.
years, so I can't say not too long.
I mean, that's possible. They done it with Lash, right? Lash and
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, there's people that have gone up
Sure.
that have never won titles. Yeah.
So it's possible they could just do that with her.
So we also had Tony D versus Dion Lennox. I like the way they started this match on Vengeance Day. So we started the whole show and it showed Dion like they showed everyone arriving and whatnot, and then it showed Dion just waiting in the parking lot even at the beginning of the show, ready to go just whenever he got there because that's how Tony's been arriving in the cars and all that stuff. So that's how the match started. Finally, Tony D rolled up and they just fucking started brawling in the parking lot. And the match obviously didn't start there because it's just a normal match. So it started with them brawling in the parking lot, brawling to the garage. Closes the door on him. They finally get Dark State involved, but then we see OTM get involved, and they fight off Dark
Mhm.
State in the back, which continues. Dion and Tony they're fighting to the ring, which finally the match gets underway once they finally get in the ring. But that was a pretty crazy and chaotic start.
Yeah, it was made clear on Tuesday that was on site, no matter what, and I'm glad they kept that
Yeah.
because
So
I
and
feel like this added to the finish of the story with Dark State and Tony.
yeah, 100%. I love just the way that I just loved how it started with him even at the beginning of the show, just waiting from the beginning. And his match was second, so he didn't
Mhm.
have to wait overly long. But yeah, OTM helping out Tony D is rather interesting. Nothing. It's a little random, but not overly random. I mean, they're just faces taken out. Helping another guy who's you know looking to take out the heels. So I see why they would get involved. But I also like it just because it puts OTM back in there. Like they were gone for a while. I think one of them or both of them might have been injured there for a bit.
Mhm.
They finally came back a few months ago. And I'm hoping that they finally get pushed to the top. Obviously, we saw Vanity Project come in and immediately take over. But I feel like, especially after tonight's episode, that tag division's finally it's getting kind of deep again. And I'm hoping OTM can get through that and get tag titles soon.
Well, unfortunately, Robert Stone, of course, made the announcement towards the end of the show. I don't know what's going to come of that.
Tag
But
title
OT
tournament,
and
yeah.
Dog State, yeah, but OT and Dog State are out of it now because of the brawl that was started in his office.
I actually 100% missed that part.
Yep, he took both of them out, Dog State and OTM.
Well, I'm glad Darkseid's not getting an automatic, rematch. I mean, they would have had to earned it, but I
Yeah,
totally missed that part. I must have been yapping over it or something.
yeah. I don't know. That's odd. But Osiris, Shaquan Sugars, they'll get another title shot eventually.
I want
Maybe
OTM to
even
get those titles, man.
yes, OTM
Or
deserve
at
it.
least in that spot.
Yeah. So we'll see what they decide. It's gonna the tag division's stacked right now, especially with people that came up from Evolve. Like I am honestly impressed with the ones they called up.
Yeah,
Like
like
I
Legacy
was
and Eli Knight, or I think Eli was down and involved. But like, yeah, they've
mhm.
all been really good.
And Carver, he's gonna be a monster once they
But
get time to
yeah,
develop him
that's
more.
gonna be interesting to see what happens with him and Jasper Troy for sure. But
Yes.
yeah, so Dion and Tony ended up having a really good match after that once they finally got in the ring. Go back and forth, and eventually, Tony D gets the win with the big spine buster. So it wasn't that long of a match once they got in the ring. Obviously, that whole like brawl took about a good 4 or 5 minutes before they got in the ring. So then the match was like another 5, I'd say. So altogether, like 10 with the beginning brawl. But yeah, so not an overly long match, but Tony D got the win with the spine buster after that clean. No one came in after the brawl in the beginning.
Yeah, which was I think was another great point. He got away from the outside attacks. Was able to go one on one with the head leader, basically of Dark State, and he said that he finishes his feud with them, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, it took him, speared him through a wall, and
That
bounced
was
his
cool
head on
though.
a
They did
wall
that
that
really
wasn't
well.
supposed to break. But gosh, yeah, I think he put him through a table too.
Yeah, he
No,
did. No,
Dion suplexed him through the table off
that's
the
right.
crowd, and it looked like nasty.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I remember I was like, oh shit, those people gotta watch out in the front row there or whatever.
Yeah, because he
Yeah, that
threw
shit
him
was
right
wild.
into the front row.
Um, but yeah, and then Tony D tonight, he finally came out and said, now that I'm done with them, and it was obvious from the start for me that he wanted to go for the world title, but that's what he really wants to go for the NXT title. Finally claim what's his because he's and prove that he's always been the baddest SOB in NXT. So it was obvious though because when he first came in, he was attacking Javon. He was going after Ethan. He was going after anyone initially that was kind of going for the title or in that title
Mhm.
picture. So it made sense. Like I knew that's where that was going, but then obviously he had a little side quest, like, "Hey, I'm gonna take out them who took me down." So I'm glad that he's finally gonna get up there, but he's been in NXT for a minute now. He's been in NXT since like 2.0 days, like when that first started. That was like
Yeah,
2021.
he was part of the new generation in the first like one of the War Games matches with Grayson Waller and
I believe that was the
Baker,
end
I
of
think.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been there a while.
So yeah, so if he gets a title run, good. And I'm glad they like. It's funny because I'm a big fan of mafia movies. You know, Goodfellas, Casino, Godfather, and I've been watching Sopranos with the homie lately because I haven't. We've been watching it since last summer because I've had a lot of shit going in my life the last year, and so it's been hard for us to watch it all the way through. They're hour episodes. They take a lot of time. And we finally got to season 6. So it's funny that I like love all of this mafia shit. But like, and I love Tony D and the family. I was always like, hey, Tony. Like, I'd always fucking go with it. I loved it. But I always would be like, dude, I don't think this will work on the main roster. As much as I love all this shit, you think I'd be the one campaigning, like,
Oh,
yeah, let's get it up there. Nah, it's just not. I just didn't think they could pull it off. Not even that I didn't want it up there. I just didn't think WWE couldn't pull that off on the main roster.
not that character, unfortunately. That's like with Chase U. That's why it's not on the main roster.
I guess, which is unfortunate because Andre Chase is really good, and Chase U, the OG Chase U, was really solid. And then, of course, Chase U 2.0 didn't pan out, and I feel like that should just end at this point with Connors joining the birth rate, which we'll get into that too. But yeah, so overall, I'm glad Tony D is going to get that title shot though.
I am too. It's well deserved.
Hopefully.
I was he he said his name. He said Joe Henry. Called him out, and I was like, well,
Oh yeah.
he's
Oh.
gonna come out of nowhere, and I was glad he didn't. Um, but yeah, I mean, if he don't get the title this time, what do they do with Tony? Like,
Moving to the main roster. I have no idea. Join the
I
fucking new
just
Vision. I don't know. They need bodies,
they
which I
can
don't even
join. He can
care
join
for.
the interchanging circle of masked men.
Oh god, dude! When we get into that, bro, I hated that. Okay, Izzy Dame took on Tatum Paxley. This was actually probably my match of the night at Vengeance Day.
Yes, it was.
This crowd was
Fortunately.
so into it. The whole fucking match. This crowd was fucking lit, and obviously they were in the PC for this one, so this crowd is always pretty lit for the most part, I'd say.
Hmm.
But they were like really, and the match was really good with Izzy and Tatum. That was probably my favorite Izzy Dame match I've seen so far. Um, and Tatum did really well. Tatum's ready for the main roster. I think she's been for a while. But yeah, I'm so glad Tatum got that title. But this match was fucking amazing.
Yeah. It's well deserved. I feel like after Vengeance Day, she should have been done with Izzy. I feel like Izzy could have been pushed into the top title picture because I feel like they're getting ready to have more people leave the women's division for the main roster.
Yeah,
But one of the spots that really stuck out to me that I thought Izzy really messed up, not Izzy, but I thought Tatum messed up her back on, but was the power bomb on the outside of the
that was a
ring.
nasty power bomb. Yeah, I don't. I definitely thought for a minute she
Uh,
was fucked too.
she hit that, but when she hit it, I felt like the momentum really shifted in her way because I feel like Izzy had momentum majority of that match, not majority of the match, but halfway through and kept it close to the end. And then when she hit this over the top power bomb, man, I had just like, oh yeah, she's winning 100%.
I have a comment here on the live. It said, "Thanks for bringing up the AW or my AEW. I'm so happy I can watch AEW live instead of watching your reaction to see what happens." Well, damn, lost a viewer. I'm just kidding. I'm glad that you're able to watch that now, Craig, and use that to watch there. But it is a subscription service, so make sure you get the correct one because there is 3 tiers. But it
Yeah,
sounds like you got it all sorted. So hell yeah.
yeah,
So go AEW. That's funny though. I just thought that was a funny comment. But yeah, so Tatum, obviously, so tonight we saw she and Izzy are gonna have a rematch next week because obviously she started
yeah.
the show and then Izzy came out and well, go over this real quick. She played the videos of like Tatum from when she was in like first join and she was in the Diamond Mine and then she was in the whole breakout tournament for the women and she lost to Lash, but it like showed like her different look then and how she sounded a little different and stuff like that. I was like, what's the point of this? She just looks awesome. Like, I don't understand why she even played all that.
Yeah, I mean, I get, I kind of understand what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Um, Trying to show that she's, of course, evolved from this to this, trying to run from who she really is. But all I seen was someone that grew into who they were and
Exactly.
is now a champion because she finally became the inner person she was and not having to fake being part of the group with Ivy now or having to bust her ass in a tournament to get to it, to just continue to fight and crawl to become champion in NXT.
So yeah, so I didn't really feel like I don't even know what route WWE was hoping that would go. Like obviously, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't either. In my opinion, made me, feel better for Tatum. Like you trying to make her
Exactly.
look bad. Like this makes me even more happy that Tatum's now the champion.
Right.
Where
Exactly.
where where'd you come from, Izzy? Nah, but like, what's your background story? But
Yeah. So yeah, so they're gonna have the rematch next week in a steel cage. I'm not gonna be live for it as I'll be busy that night, but I'm gonna miss a great NXT next week. They have so much good shit announced, and it's gonna be in Houston on the road. So that's gonna be fire. Steel cage though for the NXT North American title. It's gonna be great.
oh yeah, NXT. I mean, Shawn Michaels. I guess when he told Stone that he wanted chaos, he was like, okay, yeah, I know how to do that for sure. That's what it's been.
It's been insane. It's been pretty cool. Um, so we already talked about that backstage or the Tatum stuff. Not Tatum, the Sol stuff and all that from Vengeance Day. Kalani Lola at underground match. This was a rather short underground match. It was like maybe less than 10 minutes, but it was pretty solid. Like, and it led to Lola staying undefeated in underground matches. There was a cool spot that got posted because the guy was wearing meta glasses, and it ended up being what was his name? He used to be on NXT regularly. Um,
Kustafina.
Yes, Luca Crucifino from the family. He was one of the people ringside for the underground match, and he had the meta glasses on. And it was when Kalani pulled him, and Lola ended up doing the Hurricane Rana or whatever, the dive or whatever
Mhm.
it was to him. And so he posted that footage, and it's actually really crazy to see that from his point of view. Like, because if you've never experienced it, it's just so cool
Yeah,
to see that. So that was just like a cool little thing that we got to see from their point of view in the meta glasses. And
I'll
I'm
be
sure for the pervs
honestly.
out there who are like, "Oh yeah, Lola." I mean, hey, I
Uh,
sent for her too, but I'm sure they used it for that one. Sorry, I just had to bring that up. I'm sure there's people listening like, there's that footage out there?
yeah.
Just heard
Where's
her
it
get it.
at?
It's from Meta Glasses. Oh, yeah. But yeah, don't be a
Um,
weirdo. It's a cool spot, though.
it was. It was. I like how they're introducing meta glasses into people's promos. Or I know I seen a clip of Raquel's when she had the meta glasses on for the Elimination Chamber, and when Tiffany hit the glass with her back, you heard like the skin, I guess, rub against the pod and it made that awkward sound. And then you got to see Raquel's view of it, which was pretty interesting. So I think we've seen some stuff with Logan Paul doing stuff like that, but I think he used just a drone instead. Hit the
Yeah.
moonsault holding this.
I think, well,
So
he's held his phone before, too. Yeah.
yeah, so I like the adding in stuff like that. I don't know if it's the way of trying to promote. Hey, you can do these cool stuff. You come to a wrestling event. No, I don't know if that's what it is, but I like getting the different angles that way.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, solid underground match. Again, nothing too crazy in it. But yeah, Kalani loses to Lola. So Lola gets the win, and I feel like she definitely is another one that hasn't won really anything major. I mean, she has what, the mixed tag title, but I don't think she's had a single title on NXT yet. Lola Vice.
No. And they even showed it in the promo. She won the breakout.
Oh,
It's
and then
not
she
breakout.
cashed in and didn't win. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But that's the only thing she's technically, I guess, had in NXT that they could say is like a championship, because they said the Money in the Bank's one too. So I guess that's kind of
yeah,
wants the contract cash in. Yeah, I'm hoping Lola gets a push. She's coming after the women's title. She said if Soul wins. I think either way, she's just eyeballing the women's title. Whoever has it after Shannon Delivery.
definitely. So, and she was saying that she wanted to face Solo when she beats JC for the title. So Lola, so she definitely wants that gold. So, uh, what else do we have? I think that was it. And then just the main event: Ricky Saints, Joe Hendry. I wasn't too into this match from
No,
Indus Day.
not till Ethan came out.
Yeah, he did slid the title, and I went to Joe instead of Ricky. And then they redid that tonight, but with Ricky dramatically overthrowing it on purpose. Like, oh my god, he like covers does the Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some
I
funny shit.
I popped way too hard for that whole spot with Vicky tonight because, like, the second he threw it, I was, oh, here we go. This is gonna be the
Well, and then
downfall.
they eventually tonight they did it again where Ethan got it to Ricky, no problem. So
Yeah,
that was
he
funny.
did the slap
And even Vic's like,
in
they
the face.
finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was an okay match on Saturday. I wasn't really overly into it. Joe ends up winning with the standing ovation after everything. Um, yeah, it was an okay
Yeah,
match.
nothing crazy. You know,
Nothing
it
stood
was a
out.
solid pay per view though.
Yeah, I've probably enjoyed the tag match tonight between Miles and Joe versus Ethan and Ricky more than I enjoyed that. Oh no, it went bye bye. He was doing so good. We're 30 minutes in and it went down. His PC's been having problems lately, and we were hoping it wouldn't do it tonight, but it looks like it definitely did. Damn. That's a bummer. He'll probably rejoin on his phone here in a moment, like he did last time. That's such a bummer that it happened again. But yeah, solid Vengeance Day. Here he is. He's rejoining here.
Yeah, yeah,
Right as I heard no response, I go, no.
yeah.
It went down
God.
again. Damn
Yeah.
PC. I wonder what the heck, man.
I don't know, because I mean, I made it through NXT. I made it through Raw last night. I even gamed a little bit afterwards. No issue.
I have too much aura. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's something.
But yeah, solid Vengeance Day, man. And then of course we talked a little bit about NXT tonight, so we'll just go ahead and jump into NXT. We talked about let's just jump into that tag match, the main event. You know, we saw Miles and Joe team up to take on Ethan and Ricky. We talked about the Ricky over dramatically sliding in the title, then they got back on the same page. But yeah, the Ethan got the pin in the end over Joe in that tag match, so he's definitely going to be getting. I mean, in theory, should be getting a title shot, but they did the whole thing where they like did their pose at the end and looked at each other like, I can't trust you type of. But they looked at it
Yeah,
at the exact same time.
yeah. They gave each other the side eye, like, "Hey, what's your real intention to?" So, you know, I'm. I don't know if one's gonna cost the other the title at some point or how that's gonna play. But it's most definitely a concern for them on what's gonna happen.
So yeah, I wonder if that's gonna lead to like a triple threat: Ethan and Ricky versus Joe at Stand and Deliver.
I, I can see it, but I don't want that.
And we also have
I don't
Roadblock
want.
at the end of the month too.
They do have roadblock. That is true.
And that's just gonna be a normal Tuesday, but yeah. So I don't know. They could do something with them too. Maybe number one contendership on Roadblock, and then the winner faces Joe. Or I don't know. We'll see. Or I could see whoever doesn't face Joe between them is going to be facing Miles. I feel like.
Would be.
Oh, there he is. All right. But yeah, so I definitely think that Joe will face or Miles will face whoever doesn't face Joe.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, Miles being champion right now is not bad, and it gives a lot of title opportunities. I think so. I'll be happy with whoever. I would rather Ethan go after Joe and Ricky go after Miles, just to switch it up on who's got which title.
I wouldn't be against that, but I feel like they're definitely doing something where they both want the world title and not just a title.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the biggest thing I feel like out of this show was the birthright. So before the birthright took on Charlie and Tavion, because of course on Sunday they had a little segment that we didn't talk about that was Tavion and Charlie talking backstage, and they came out like, "All right, time's up. What's what's your decision?" And Tavion was like talking stuff like, "You ain't gonna do it." And then finally Charlie was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do it." And they're like, all right, fine, we're gonna face you two on Tuesday. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do one night
Yeah,
only in
yeah.
NQC. And I told Sarah, I go, he's gonna turn on Tavion and join on Tuesday. And sure enough, but what made it more interesting is before the match, there's a little backstage segment, and we saw them go up to Uriah, and they're like, I think it was Lexus. He's like, hey, did you make the call? And he's like, no, my dad did it, but it's all set. And I was like, wait, what? Well, who did Fit call? So I was like, obviously his dad's Fit Finley. So who the fuck? And we saw during the match, which was a solid tag match, nothing too big in it. But we saw while Tavion was in the ring, that's when Charlie, or not Charlie, I think they went to the outside of the ring. But William Regal and Fit Finley both walked out. during the match, and just kind of stared at them. And then Charlie and Tavion were on the outside, and that's when Charlie hit him, threw him back in the ring, and they lost technically, but he joined the Birthright.
Yeah, he did. Which I seen coming. It's not a bad thing. I like what they're doing with that group. I think it's gonna honestly push the factions right now they have. But my only thing is, who the hell did they call?
They called William.
You think it was them calling William?
Yeah, so he called. So he said my dad made the call. So he was referring to only one person during that promo before the match.
Okay, okay, that makes sense because that's what had Dempsey be like, okay,
Yeah,
if
so that
Dad's
was
with,
his dad. He's
okay,
seen his dad with Fit, and Fit's Uriah's dad. So he's like, they're damn right. And then boom. But anyways, yeah. So that was who he called. Was he called William?
okay, yeah, because my chat was like, damn, what? It'd been cool if it could have been his brother, and I was like, well, we know it's not his brother.
We were
His
memeing about
brother's
that in
on.
my chat though. We were like, yeah, the dogs show up and they're, and because I was like, they should do it like how Kenny when he won the AEW title, and they were like leaving, they like jet because they cheated to win it, and it was like him and
Mhm.
Don leaving really quick, and they had that one guy and like walking with him backstage, like, but why'd you cheat, blah blah, or whatever the fuck he said, and then Don's like, I'll take all the questions and we're gonna answer all of them Tuesday. That was when TNA was on Tuesday. I was like, they should do that, but with fucking the dogs if they show up, just come and be like, yeah, we showed up on Tuesday, but come talk to us Wednesday on Dynamite. Be like, what the fuck? Partnership with AEW, and then I'll be like, oh well, that's it. AEW's dead.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
no, we were memeing about that too. But I right away as soon as I saw William, I was like, yeah, they call Regal. So he was like,
yeah.
hey, do it. You need to do it.
And there's actually a photo now of all of them backstage together. So,
Oh,
are we gonna see Fit and Regal now, like as
maybe.
managers of the group?
I don't think that, but I think they'll show up when necessary.
Okay, I mean that
I would
works for
hope.
me. Yeah, because we ain't seen Regal since he came back and was talked to Dempsey about the Heritage Cup
Yeah.
a year and a half
He showed up
ago.
a few times, yeah, and talked to Dempsey or like showed up for Dempsey. But I feel like he doesn't really just want to be much of an on-screen guy that much anymore, unless it's for his son.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, so he joined the Birthright, and yeah, so they're all set to go now.
It's not bad. I like it. The only one that doesn't fit in, but I mean, is Stacks. But I
He's
guess he
just there
married
because of
into the
Ariana
birthright.
Grace. Yeah, he's just.
Uh,
I always tell him like, you don't belong, Stacks.
yeah, he don't. He really don't.
We heard from Tony D tonight. We already kind of talked about that. He says he's gonna go for the or the NXT title. Um, We had Lady Reed and Solruka. This match was really good and got a lot of time, at least a 10 to 12 minute match, I'd say. It was really solid.
He got 2 commercials, I do believe. So yeah, it
So they had
was.
maybe even longer than that, maybe like 15, 16 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good match. I even had someone in my chat be like, they said, hey, this match is actually getting good time. And I was like, it is.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
glad it
probably
is.
the most I've seen of Lainey like in one match for sure.
Yeah, since she called out JC for being what, a transitional champion or something like that.
Who, Lainey did? Her own
Yeah,
partner?
remember she jumped over the barricade and was like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was when she
Before she
first
joined,
debuted.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that was a really good match. Of course, Soul got the win. Of course, we even had um Fatal ringside, and they tried to get involved. They did, but it still led to
Hmm.
Soul was able to still get the win.
Yep. It's a good
Uh,
decision.
yeah, because obviously she's going into the match next week, and they showed Zarya watching on the screen. And she didn't get involved, which is kind of surprising. I thought she would, but they showed her at one point just watching the screen.
Hmm. I think they, and I don't know why they only tested Soul tonight.
Mhm.
I would have I would have figured they would have put Zarya in something. But I mean, I feel like that's just an indication that they're more worried, or JC's more worried about Soul than Zarya because she wanted Laney to try to take her out.
Yeah, that's true. And then, of course, we saw Fallon's going to be busy next week, too. So she's going to be defending her title against Ren Sinclair, which I was so happy she won. That was a short match. I mean, obviously, speed, so it only went like 2 minutes. I think she won. And she tapped her out with the cattle mutilation.
Yeah, I
Um,
think. She calls it the final wrench or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's Bryan
Yeah,
Danielson's finisher that he created. I believe he created. I know he's accredited for making it popular, but
yeah.
I think he also created it. But yeah, so that was a really I love that move when she uses it. So she's tapped her out with that, and she'll be facing Fallon next week. Do you got Fallon or do you got Ren?
I got Red. This will be her first win, title win, in my opinion. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I think she should definitely win against Fallon. I think they're setting up Fatal. And I only got this idea because one of my mods told me this in chat, and I was like, dude, that sounds so right. He thinks that they're gonna have both JC and Fallon lose next week, and it'll set some way they're gonna set up a triple threat between Fatal at Stand and Deliver or something like that. Something with them.
They'll break apart. Isn't that what they did? No, they didn't do that with um the last group because
Oh, Toxic.
yeah, because Mandy got released.
Yeah,
But
well, they did have JC and Gigi feud because then they did like kind of almost like the whole Shawn Michaels glass window thing, but at Bailey's Ding Dong Hello, like booted
yeah,
her head so hard into the fucking door, like legit, that she had was like in concussion protocol for like a few weeks.
yeah, and then they had that match. That was the first Vengeance Day after the pandemic that they went back live. It was in Charlotte, and I was actually there, and it
Mhm.
was her, Gigi, and someone else for the title. I think it might have been Roxanne. It
Oh,
was Roxanne.
oh yeah, didn't they do? I thought they did like a random because I remember people were complaining last year about. Oh, you said 2021. Okay, I'm thinking too. Never mind, I'm thinking someone else.
Yeah, I mean, she's done the feud thing like that before. It would make sense, and especially if they wanted to break it up and JC go to the main roster after Stand and Deliver, that would work.
Well, Fallon's been down since I think 2021, if not early 2022 as well.
Yep,
I feel
she
like
was
she obviously
bridge.
she's only done speed title. I think she had the North American title, but she's been there for a long time. I could see her going
Yeah,
up too at some point. Like Kiana was when
that,
that got called up a lot sooner than I expected.
yes, she did. Yeah, wow. Yeah, because Kiana was there with Lola, so
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that
Fallon could
was
get called in.
Kiana wasn't teamed with Lola. That was Electra Lopez.
No, yeah, I mean like in the breakout tournament they were
Oh
in.
yeah. Okay. Damn, I don't even remember that. But yeah, so solid match between Soul Laney, Thea Ren. That was solid.
Mm-hmm.
Do 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 do.
Dude.
Just going through everything here. Oh yeah, we saw so after Tatum got attacked by the calling, or I guess Izzy technically, but the calling like stopped her from leaving. We saw her go up to Shiloh, who's like always in that fucking truck, and he's like fucking with shit, and she's like mad. I forgot exactly what they say to each other, but she's mad, after being attacked. He's like, "Have you seen Izzy?" I think is all she asks. He's like, "No," and then he's like, she says something specifically, and he's like, "Wait," and he like repeats it back, and he grabs a fucking tire iron, and he's like, but I know something that I can help you with. And then later on we cut to like a ton of car alarms going off and Robert Stone like going outside to see what the fuck's going on. And it's the Collings, all their like every car like in this one section of the parking lot's like fucked up in some way. Tires are removed off the Collings car at least. Other cars have their trunks open and hoods open, doors are wide open and shit. All these other cars behind them, cars alarms going off in those. He's like, "What the fuck happened?" He's like, he didn't say fuck, but he's like, "What happened here?" And he's like, "Oh, he tries to start telling him, but the car alarms are so loud. He's like, "Wait, I can't hear you." So then Shiloh starts yelling, "So I couldn't figure out the Collings car." And he's like, "No." And then they go in the building, and he's like, "Okay, now tell me." And then he continues to shout, "So I couldn't tell which one's the Collings car." He's like, "No, just tell me normally. Stop yelling." Oh, and so I just took everyone's cars and messed them all up. I thought that was hilarious. It was fucking great.
Yeah, Shallow, his character is fantastic. Like, I don't know where they're going with him, but they cannot change his character. I don't
He's
care.
fit really well with Hank and Tank so far, but yeah, I really want to see. And he had that good match with Ethan Page for the North American title, so he's definitely gonna be a player there for a few years for sure.
He is. And he gets over good with the crowd now. If he keeps like this tinkering stuff up that he does, and like the dark web stuff and all that, he'll fit good on the main
It's
roster
obvious
too.
he's a very intelligent guy, and I mean his whole intro production into NXT was like him explaining his background and then just showing his weirdness and stuff. So like I feel like it's just he connects with people and just because he's just so awkward and weird in ways, but also his charisma is just through the roof.
It is absolutely through the roof.
So yeah, that was hilarious tonight on NXT. I really thought that was great. And then of course then it led to Izzy and Tatum brawling again later on backstage, which led to the steel cage announcement. What haven't we talked about from tonight's NXT?
And
Oh
this
yeah,
oh,
the
one
triple
thing.
threat.
Okay, yeah,
The
that's
two
the
things.
same thing.
What was your thing?
Well, my thing happened during the triple threat, but it was Kanu Carver absolutely choke slamming, power slamming Jasper Troy through the announce
I
table.
kind of have a problem with this. A
You
little
do?
bit. A little bit.
Okay.
Nothing big. It's just a little gripe. So obviously the triple threat was happening. It's no DQ.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe a few little gripes. So it happened when the ref's back was obviously turned, which doesn't matter to me. It's like at the end of the day, I just thought that was funny. I was like, why is the ref not even looking anyways? Like, I get he's not expecting it, so he's looking at Sean and Eli fighting. But obviously, so he gets put through the table, Jasper, and then Keanu yells at Book again. I told you, and whatever, he leaves. But he was down for a really long time. And it's like most matches when you do like a table match, or not a table match, but like hardcore match, Extreme Rules, or Street Fight, whatever you want to call them, and they go through tables, they're never down that long.
No.
Why was he down for so long? I get they're trying to sell Keanu so strong and blah blah blah, but like I've never seen 6 refs show up immediately after someone goes through a table in any other situation unless it's like after a match or whatever, a blindside attack. It's never happens like that in a match until now. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why are they
I mean,
doing this now? It just doesn't happen all the time. It made no
this is a
sense to me.
solid point.
I mean, I get the whole point. I already answered my own question is to sell Keanu how brutal that was. But I mean, if this is a no DQ match in the first place with it being a triple threat, you know what I mean?
Hmm. I do.
Weird. I just don't get the way they sold it.
And then Booker T,
I do, but I don't.
on the other end of this, was so pissed off, he took his damn headset off, and we don't know what he was saying because Vic was like, "Y'all can't hear Booker because he took his headset off."
Which is funny
So
because then last week he had his headset mic up and he was talking. He's like, "Oh," and Vic had to tell him
yeah,
to put it down. Yeah, and then they also announced at some point that next Tuesday will also be, since it's in Houston, Booker T Appreciation Night.
can't wait.
I'm gonna miss a
I
lot
don't
of
know
good
what the
shit, man. I'm a little
I
bummed,
don't
but
know
I mean,
what they're
I
gonna
could go
do.
back and watch it after the fact, of course. But I'm like, dang, watching it live is always, Tom. But I have a lot going on, so I'm gonna have fun regardless. Next Tuesday, I was hanging out with my family, but damn, that's gonna be a good show.
Keanu's gonna put him through a cake table.
Oh my god, speaking of cake, I forgot we had a backstage segment with it was Ren and Kendall, and I forgot who else. Um,
Miles looking for Joe.
That's right. Before his match, he couldn't find. He's seen Joe all day, and she does the whole. I know where they go from wherever they're standing to the kitchen area, and she says his name and opens the fridge, and he's not there. It's just cake, and then he appears from like behind the fridge. Hey, what are you guys looking at? And then eventually it leads to like they're talking. Miles, I've been looking for you all day, and then it cuts back to Kendall, and she's just eating the fucking cake. I was like, what the fuck? So that was a little funny
Just their hand
segment.
shoveling away cake.
Dude, I was like, man, I wanted a piece. What the fuck, Kendall? But yeah, so
It
that
was
was a little funny backstage. But yeah, the triple threat was fun. So eventually Jasper got back in the match after being down for most of it. And there was a few times where he kept getting hit when he tried to get back in the ring. They just kick him when he fall back down. But he got back in the ring, and eventually they both pin him, both Sean and Eli, which you'd think would lead to another triple threat, which they try to do backstage. But they're like, no, we got to set up a tournament. That's not how it works. But then Eli and Sean were like, oh, wait, yeah, Vanity Project suck. We want to go for them.
yeah. So they're not even worried about the speed title no more. Hey, you know what?
I'm
We're
feeling
both
like they're
high
doing that
flyers.
so it could give Stone time to create the tournament, is my guess.
Yeah. It makes sense. We're
But
gonna have the
LaFleur was
finals
trying
of
to
the
convince him like
women.
that's not how this title should work. It's the speed title. It should just things should just happen for it, be fast. And I don't know.
Hmm.
We'll see. I feel like they're just gonna eventually drop them anyways.
Yeah, they will. They'll end up with the Heritage Cup somewhere in the bottom of a lake somewhere.
Yeah, his stack got itchy and he threw something in the water. It turned out to be the speed titles.
Yeah, something.
But yeah, so I think that was it basically. I think that was all of the show. But yeah, solid NXT tonight. I thought it was which we're about to go over Raw. I thought it was more enjoyable than yesterday's Raw.
Yeah. I said at the start, and I believe it. It just hasn't been a WrestleMania building Monday Night Raw in a couple
Wait,
days,
no, here, I have
couple
an
weeks.
idea. I'm gonna give you this is gonna make it feel just like WrestleMania. I have the perfect idea. Ready? Imagine
Okay,
there's
here
like
we go.
50 other guys dressed like me. Ready?
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Oh shit. Where am
Oh,
I? Oh, which one is it
uh,
me? Oh
If I
no,
cross,
WrestleMania, right? Is that how? Does
yeah,
that make it feel better?
it did. And if I crossed my eyes, there was 4 of you, so that helped too.
And then you have your glasses, so that should make 8.
Exactly. So
Dude, that was the dumbest fuck. I get why he does it. So he's doing it so they don't know which one is him, right? So they all came in, which one is Seth? The stupid thing to me is once I thought about it and people kind of in my chat kind of explained to me why they didn't like it even more than I initially didn't like it. And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. Why would they not just beat down Logan and Theory? They already took out Paul, or at least Seth did. How you have like 15 to 20 guys, however many that was. How do you not just beat them? Why do you just fucking, oh, which one is me? What the fuck? You are outnumbering them. Beat their ass.
they put the cup on top of Seth's head, and they magic tricked us. By God.
The funny thing is too, and I'm not like overly big, but I'm also like not thin. Like I mean, I'm a small dude, but I have a belly, right?
Yeah.
So there's like a photo of one of the guys, and he was a lot bigger of a dude. It's like, oh yeah, there's Seth right there. So a lot of people are just making fun of that. There was people that totally didn't even look like him in that fucking shit. And you're like, well, that's obviously not him. But I guess
Yeah.
it's more of a way, just bodies and more numbers thing. But it was so stupid. I get the point of it, but if you have that many guys, Seth, beat their ass. What are you doing?
And my only thing is, do we not know? Do we not remember how bad Retribution went over? They done the same shit.
I don't even think that's what this is gonna be. I think this is
I know. Yeah.
just him using people to fucking pay them back. I don't know. It's not. I don't see this paying off to another faction for Seth at all. I just think it's just something stupid they did. Which again, because they were already outnumbering them, why the fuck didn't they just beat their ass instead of doing that bullshit?
I don't know. I don't know. They came to the ring and Theory's, yeah,
Or
we're
was
gonna
it because
get you.
Pierce was like all pissed at him, and so that was his way to
Yeah.
avoid Pierce? I guess that makes a little bit more sense than not beating the Vision's ass.
Yeah, but you could have easily done something different. But I
Dude,
mean, it does
it
make
was so
sense.
stupid. I was all ready for Raw. I was like, all right, Raw's usually pretty solid. Let's go. And it was an okay show. It wasn't the best, but man, that totally started it off in a bad way.
It, I, I thought it was hilarious. Like
It was
they
funny,
tried.
but it was stupid
It
funny and
was,
like, God, this is
yes,
so dumb.
it was. It was horribly dumb. But I mean, I understand why they did it.
Well,
Hopefully, we don't
and
see it.
then once he left, then the Usos and LA Knight came out and beat down Vision.
Yeah,
So I was like,
which
so Seth and his 20 people leave just for 3 other people to come out and outnumber them.
hmm
Ay,
and
ay,
yeah, I
ay.
still don't know what the hell we're doing there.
I
Like
don't either. I
because
like the Usos are tag champs, and I don't feel like there's nothing set up for them, and we're almost a month away from Mania. I guess you got time, but like, I feel like there's no direction for them for those tag titles right now.
there's not. And I mean, at the start of the show, they didn't come out with them, and then we'll get to it later. But at the end of the show, they sure as hell didn't come out with them. Did they forget them in like the suitcases at home?
Right? They don't feel important,
It,
at least right now.
I don't know. I'm still thinking it's gonna be Theory and Logan versus the Usos for the tag titles.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Now that I really think about that, they are painting that picture. I guess I'm just wasn't really thinking about it.
And I don't know what we're gonna do with LA Knight. It's either gonna be him or Seth against Brock.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna answer the Brock Open challenge, but I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. Back to the Andre the Giant tournament he goes.
Well, I mean, if he wins it, he'll get the United States or Intercontinental next. By God, it's written in the stars.
Speaking of the Usos, they were mad at Punk. So, well, at least Jimmy initially more at first. So after that, we saw Jackie trying to talk to them backstage. They were trying to leave. She asked them a few questions. Eventually, asked them about Punk, and Jimmy's like Jay's like, nah, I ain't got nothing to say or whatever. He's like, kind of blows it off, and then Jimmy's like, grabs him. He's like, we do have something to say. And then Jay like kind of locked in. Was like, and they both walked off, kind of like looking like they were locking in. So, and then that was closing the show. Obviously, Punk came out and he cut his promo about Roman and said, wow, I'm surprised people, because he got a good pop and everything. I'm surprised I got that reaction after what I said. Some people said I went too far, yada, yada, yada. Out come the Usos. They get, in his face, just say, all we want for you to do is apologize. And Punk gives them this whole spiel of They didn't ask for an apology after Roman and everything he did to them, and they never got it. They're not holding him to the same standards. Talked about his history with the Anoa'i family and being trained and babysitting Lance and all this other stuff that he went through with them. And didn't apologize. He said, "I'm sorry that basically what I just said. Like, Roman never apologized to you guys, and blah 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 blah." And so they eventually, super kick him and whatnot and take him down. And Punk's like, "I deserve that. I deserve that." He knew he went over the edge again. But he also brought up like, "Oh, they're here. You're here, not Roman defending his dad, but you guys are doing his bidding again." And they're like, "We ain't
Yeah.
doing. We just want you to apologize. That's it. That's all we want." So
Yeah, I feel like the Usos are gonna be involved in this title picture somehow.
I can see them getting involved in Bloodline Rules Mania. There you go.
Here we go.
But who helps
That
Punk?
that
I guess
who
LA
helps
Knight and
Punk?
the LA Knight and someone. I guess
I mean, you could, but just I don't I don't know why they continue to bring the Usos into it, and maybe Roman will, be like, "Hey, I don't need y'all's help Monday
maybe.
when they're there in San Antonio."
True, but I mean, I get why the Usos in story would be wanting him to have an issue with that because that's their uncle.
Yeah, and they didn't care about Roman. It wasn't that about Roman. It's what he said about
Oh yeah, Punk was 100%
Sika.
valid with his
Yeah.
responses. I mean, maybe saying sorry would have been valid in that situation. I get why the Usos wanted it. If you're thinking like real life scenario, a lot of people would
Mhm.
just beat your ass for saying that in general. But
Oh
um,
yeah. Yeah.
but yeah. So I mean, I get why the Usos wanted the apology, but I also saw Punk's side
Yeah,
of it.
I did. Yeah. But I like how he went about it. He was like, I'm sorry that, because like you said, because I never apologized. And if you believe Sika can hear us, then we know he knows that your cousin is narcissistic, egotistical, and all this other shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's just making it worse for
Yeah, he
himself.
said, "I have no problem with your family, just
Yeah.
one son of a
Well,
bitch or
son
whatever
of a
like
bitch.
that."
Yeah. That's like,
So
oh God.
yeah, so it was a really good moment. Carson, he got taken down by, I forgot which one of them hit him. It might have been both or whatever, but he was like, "Ah, I
It was
deserve that," and he took
Jimmy,
it.
which
Yeah,
was surprising.
yeah, and he just, "I deserve it," and then that's how the show ended. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Roman on next week. He finally gonna be back. I think he has like 6 shows that he's been announced for on the road, so we have, I think, a little under 5 or about 5 weeks left until Mania.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he's there now till Mania. Him and Brock both.
I think he has like 4, so I think there's one he's missing.
Yeah, it may be.
So I think
I
he'll
don't know
he'll be at
why it's
like
so
at the
short.
majority of them
Yeah.
though. He'll be at the majority of them from here on out though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Brock. I think they both got their schedules in. I think no, Roman did. I don't know if Brock did. But yeah, Brock will be on Raw Monday, so they said that we'll see if he gets an answer for his open challenge that he talked about. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, the gauntlet match. That was so. The one thing I'll say about Raw is we had 3 matches. The gauntlet match obviously took the most time because it was Asuka, Bailey,
Yeah.
Ivy, Io, Lyra, and Raquel to winner faces AJ, which will be happening Monday. And it was actually a solid gauntlet match, but I hated that the other 2 matches felt so insignificant on this show. Like we had 3 matches, the Penta and they did the whole thing where Danhausen cursed Grande OG, and then we saw Ryo and Bravo behind him during that whole thing. So they obviously attacked him after that. We didn't see it on camera though, which led to Ludwig's El Grande coming out and taking over the match, and Penta said whatever and defended the title against him and won. There was actually a part during this match too where it looked like Penta was hurt. The ref was checking on him quite a bit.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, so there was a part like right before I went to commercial. It seemed like he was getting checked on quite a bit by the ref, and then we went to commercial, and I wasn't on the VPN chat. I was like, yeah, the ref keeps kind of checking on him. And then we came back, and he was down again, and the ref was out checking on him again, and I was like, oh fuck. But then like after that, he started doing his comeback. I was like, damn, thought he was fucking hurt there.
Yeah, I missed that completely, and honestly, I missed a lot of this match because someone asked me about the my AEW thing, and I was going over all that and I was explaining it to him. And so the only thing I remember seeing the start of it and missed a lot of the commercial stuff, and then I seen like the ending of the match.
Yeah, so then you definitely missed because like it was like I remember before the
Yeah.
commercial break, like Ludwig just did like a move to him, and then the ref, like, you could tell the ref came up and talked to him and told him something, and then that's when he like turned around and started taunting. So I was like, oh shit, he told him let me check on him, do like taunt.
I do remember the taunt that seemed over long by
Yeah,
Ludwig.
they weren't focusing on Penta. That was definitely when they were checking on him. But yeah,
Or
I mean, he finished the
disrespecting.
match and retained, so I guess he was good to go. But I think he might have got his bell rung or something. I don't know. Could be
Hit that
wrong.
nasty springboard destroyer.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a sick fucking finish for Penta to get the win on Ludwig.
And I they set up, of course, Ludwig original El Grande versus El Grande Monday. Are we getting
Hmm.
a mask match, or are they gonna hold that till Mania?
They might hold that till Mania, but I hope that's not on Mania. Just do it on the Friday before, even though they're on Raw. I don't care.
Do it on the pre-show. We don't
Yeah,
have to do that.
pre-show. Let's do it on there, please. Um, but yeah, so yeah, we saw Danhausen curse El Grande OG. Obviously got attacked. We didn't see it, but he obviously got attacked. There was even no update on like what happened to him the rest of the show. It was just like, oh,
He was gone.
yeah, there's like
He
no
was
at
just
least that
gone.
I saw, unless they just did it on commentary. I don't know. But we also had a very significant faction shakeup.
We did, and it was needed. We talked about it for months, but it did not go how I thought it would.
Yeah, so Kofi Kingston invited Javon Evans into the New Day. Crazy
Yeah,
fashion. No, he did do that though. That actually did occur. He talked about Woods being out and stuff, and that's gonna be interesting though. I just felt like throwing a curveball, but yeah. So Finn Balor got attacked by Dom and JD. That was, I think, the more shocking thing was JD joined in with everyone in attacking Finn during this segment.
it was. I was shocked, absolutely. Like I was like, oh yes, he hit the Pele kick just like he did in NXT when he showed back up there,
Yeah, he was
and
gonna take his cut
then
off and just boom.
yeah, and then the clothesline. I was like, holy shit, JD. Like
A lot of people pointed out to me, they're like, why didn't Liv, when he was like in the corner and Liv was behind him, why didn't she stop him? And I was like,
yeah,
maybe she didn't think he was actually gonna go through with it. I don't know.
or maybe the JD thing was just like
Oh
they
yeah, the
told
JD.
him like
Yeah, maybe she looked at him like, you got it, okay.
yeah, or and, they could have left Liv out of the loop. Was like, hey, something might happen. If it does, just play it this way. And then JD had a decision on what he was going to do, and it was just okay.
so when we
And
had
they
the
let him decide.
backstage with Finn and everyone, or not Finn, with Dom and everyone, when he came back and he was like, let's go out there, I have something to say and all that. I was like, oh, JD's gonna side with Finn and we're gonna totally end the Judgment Day. So I thought it was just gonna be like Dom, Raquel, and Liv like pick a side, and then JD and Finn, right? And I thought, okay, that's gonna
Mhm.
Judgment Day, and they'll just go with tag teams and no more faction. Nope. JD fucking turned on him. Well, Finn turned technically, but they totally beat him down, and I didn't expect JD to be part of that.
I didn't either. I like it. It's different. There's no original members of the Judgment Day anymore, so Judgment Day 2.0 is officially here. So
Yep,
we'll see how they go. Did you see the social media stuff that happened after that?
I did not. Oh wait,
So
I did. Yeah. Because then, it was it Damien that was like, he said something. I don't remember what he said.
yeah, so Priest said something along the lines of, "Now you know how it feels."
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
feel great, does it?
yeah.
And I think it was JD that said, "Ask Edge," and then
Dom
Dom
said
underneath
Adam
it,
Copeland.
Adam Copeland. Yeah,
Yeah, that shit was funny. I did see that. I totally forgot about it for a second. Yeah, that was some good shit, man. I love that fucking interaction that they had. But yeah, so
yeah,
it's definitely gonna lead to Finn and Dom at Mania.
yeah. I feel like after the way they beat him down, they are. I feel like 65% sure they're gonna give us a Demon King
Yeah,
or
definitely.
resurrect Finn.
I hate the name Demon King. I just like Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, did he drop the king off the end of it?
Eventually, yeah, he did. I think he
Yeah, I
didn't
think
use
he
it when
did.
because he was the demon when he faced Edge. I think they just called him the demon.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember the last time you used king on it then, but
I think it was
either
when he
way,
lost to Roman. Is the last time he used the Demon King. I think
that's because that mystery turnbuckle exploded that
that was
never
so
led to
fucking
nothing.
stupid. I hated that so much.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that was a really big moment. So I guess we'll find out more Monday what happens. But I really hope they drop that fucking hip hop theme too. I mean, it's not like a terrible song; it just doesn't fit them.
For the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they came out to that, and I was even like, we usually just come out to Dom's theme. This is weird that they're coming out to this new version. I feel like it's always random when they use that.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll get. Hopefully, it's not too Def Rebel, but it may be.
Just give them back to the other side. Actually, no, because that kind of reps the OG. But you know what I mean? Give them something better. I don't know.
That they'll come up with something. I just don't know what they'll do.
And then the other match that we had, Oba Rusev was. I mean, it wasn't overly long. It was like 6 minutes, but I didn't expect it to be that short. I'll be honest. But yeah, I mean, it was powerhouse and powerhouse. But yeah, Oba beat his ass.
Yeah, I mean, it was the longest match Oba's had on the main roster, probably the shortest that Rusev's had on the main roster. But we knew the outcome. You're not gonna
Yeah,
bury
it was.
Oba.
I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be that much of a squash. It wasn't like it could have been more of a squash, but I didn't think it would be like that much of a squash.
Yeah, I was surprised he picked him up so easy.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, he's bigger than him, but yeah.
Yeah, it honestly surprised me.
But let's get to the only good match on this card. There's only 3 in a 3-hour show, which is fine. And again, this was a longer match though, because it's a gauntlet. So technically, there was 5 matches, if you will, but I consider it one.
Yeah, I think this was actually an hour's worth of gauntlet.
That's close to it. I think it was like 40-ish minutes. So
Yeah.
we started off with a banger, Lyra and Io. I'd say this one maybe 6-7 minutes, had a commercial in it. I think every match had a commercial in it in this gauntlet. With Io beating and pinning Lyra after the moonsault, which in a good opener. Raquel came out third. I thought she would win. We saw Liv try to help her here, but it didn't pan out, and Io eliminated her.
Yeah, which surprised the hell out of me. I wanted Raquel to win this. I did. But Raquel got her back on that for sure.
Yeah, so Raquel beat her ass after this, and that's what led to Ivy Nile eliminating her immediately. So she beat her down, hit the Chingona bomb, and of course, here comes Ivy Nile, gets in the ring, immediately just pins her. Doesn't even do anything, just pins. Oh no, she has a lateral press, and then she pins her, which I was a little
Does
bummed about.
the head taunt.
Yeah. And then we had Bailey out fifth. So that meant Asuka was going to be last. And Bailey eliminates Ivy and and Ivy's improved a lot, I gotta say.
Yes.
They just need to give her something to do besides just show up in these matches and ball out.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing the same thing the Alpha American Maid is.
Yeah.
The Creed brothers just hanging out, lifting weights and catering right now, unfortunately. On main event. It's horrible.
And then, of course, we had Asuka out last, and Bailey beat Asuka. I really thought that we'd see Asuka get the win here, but Bailey got the win. Of course, Lyra made the save when Kaidi was getting involved. So Kaidi had already gotten involved once, but the second time Kaidi tried to get involved, she like threw out Bailey in front of Kaidi, but then Lyra came up before Kaidi could even do anything that time and like drop kicked her into the apron, which led to Bailey eventually getting the win. Which I was a little surprised. I thought that at that point they were going to go with Asuka because heel versus face, a dynamic with Asuka and AJ, but they're gonna go with Bailey. I don't know if she's. I feel like they kind of dropped a bit of that double fucking
The personality thing.
yeah. So I don't know if she'll be like that next Monday against her, but yeah, I'm excited because they faced down in NXT back in the day before AJ left, and AJ also wore a hugger shirt once on Raw back in the day while Bailey was in NXT. I'm a hugger, so history there from them too. They fought once before, and now they get to run it back. 10 plus
Yeah,
years
I think
later.
it was 20. If it was before she left, probably like
2012,
13,
2013,
12,
something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, good history. I mean, it's been a while. Unfortunately, we'll have a hellacious great match, but Becky will cause this
Becky's gonna
match to
get
be no
involved,
DQ.
which is gonna piss me off because I don't know what else they're gonna do with Bailey at Mania this year. They obviously screwed her last year and had her replaced by Becky, so I don't know what the fuck they'll do with Bailey this year at Mania at this point.
Triple threat.
Yay! My
We could have
favorite.
7 triple threats in this in WrestleMania. Honestly, we could have 3 triple threats on night 1, 2 triple threats on night
Before you know
2.
it, It's gonna be Hall of Fame gets its own week. Stand and Deliver obviously getting their own week or whatever they're calling it now, weekend, I guess. Hall of Fame will get its own weekend, and then they'll fucking SmackDown is now night 3 of Mania, and you can watch it for free on ESPN or some bullshit. Because that's what they're doing now. They're doing the first hour of night 1 will be on ESPN 2 for free. Oh, the first hour of night 2 will be on the normal ESPN for free. But bro, just put it all on Netflix like you do for international. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
yeah, I don't know what
I don't
Bailey's
know.
gonna do though.
I will say, the last pay per view we had, I actually watched it on ESPN. I did not like it. I normally use my VPN and watch it that way.
I've used it
Was
on there,
not.
but I've never had an issue with the ESPN when I have used it. But that's because I'll use their free. I'll do Tufubo with the free trial because they have like a 7-day free trial thing. They always do.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, not always, but I've done it twice.
He said I gotta make another email, but yeah, I'll do it 3 times so soon.
I have so many emails I don't want. I just use one that I have. I have so many.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, this Raw, like honestly, besides those 3 matches, like there was like we already talked. I feel like about everything.
Yeah.
The whole show start with the Vision stuff. That gauntlet lasted about 40-ish minutes, so that took a lot of time. Icy match was, in my opinion, the turn was
Mhm.
great. Obarusa was, um, yeah.
There's one part you're forgetting that you did not see because you did not use your
Oh
VPN.
yeah, because Danhausen came out and he like did his thing and then he left and then the lights came on while he was running away. I
So
saw that. I just not live.
yeah, that so it lights went dark. You hear "You will be cursed," and he got a good pop. Honestly, it was a better pop than what he got at Elimination Chamber. And of
Yeah.
course, we know because they built it up so bad and they felt like they were expecting something more. And that's just because we thought that we was getting, I guess, everyone wanted Jericho. But either way, he got a good reaction.
Yeah.
The crowd was cheering him. Even when it did the "You'll be cursed" thing,
They said it with
they
him. Yeah.
did that with him, and that was great. He was throwing out T-shirts, having fun. But no, the light, the lights. I even giggled, man, like because he's
He's
running
just
like
running
this.
up the ramp and his cape's all
Yeah,
flying behind him and the lights come back on. And he's just running.
yeah.
He
I was
also
glad
before the
Daniel.
show was at the one of the merch stands trying to sell stuff.
He was he had Yeet armbands on, and I think the glasses.
So
So
yeah, so I kind of hope they keep him free and just have him bounce around shows like this. It's fun.
it is.
I'd
I
love
can't
to
wait to
see
see
him
what he
show
does
up
with the
on
Miz.
Evolve randomly. I don't even watch Evolve, but like have him show up in Evolve randomly. Just
Just
where's
hanging
Adam
out.
Pierce? Like, what the fuck? Who are you, Robert Stone? Like just freak out.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Uh,
till he brings out the no cursing shtick or like no swearing.
yeah,
Like
because
someone
he'll.
says
But I
like
don't know.
ass or bitch around him, he's like, no swearing around Danhausen, no swearhousing.
Yeah, that's what housing. Yeah, it's it's been good for him, in my opinion.
100%.
There's still a lot of people that don't know who he is
So once
or
they're seeing
understand him
his
yet.
character, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're starting to like it. The crowds are starting to like it. So I feel like he's gonna get extremely over very quickly.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited to see more of him. But yeah, Raw was a miss for me this week for sure.
It was. I I felt like I was really locked into the women's gauntlet for sure because it
Yeah,
was good overall. And then the ending promo with the Usos,
that was the
like
best part of the
I
show,
could
besides the
connect,
gauntlet.
feel with, connect with that part. Talking about family. Like, okay, I get this. This
Don't
is
say
a
family too loud.
legit.
Vin Diesel will show up.
That's true. So,
Someone say family. Sorry, old meme, but funny.
I mean, there was some good stuff, but overall, it was not there for me.
It felt like a 3 hour show. I mean, 2.5 hours is not far off, but it felt like three. I felt every minute of that one on Monday.
Oh yeah, I did, and I agree with you 100%.
So we have Revolution this Sunday, big pay per view from AEW. Since we will not be doing a podcast this Friday because I will be at a local promotion that day, so I will not be. I'll be missing tomorrow's Dynamite for Rick G's birthday, and I will be missing SmackDown for a live stream at CWC. So we will do one on Sunday. At least that's the plan after Revolution. Well, we'll
Mhm.
see. Maybe even Monday because Revolution AEW goes late, and I know it'll be a little hella late for you. So we'll see how you feel and everything and how you're doing. But let's go over our predictions for this year's Revolution, shall we?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the card pulled up here on my end as well, so I can see what we got cooked up here from old Tony Khan. Because
We
I
obviously
know.
don't have. I feel like. I mean, we probably have every main card match, but we don't have the pre-shows. I mean, there's one, but we don't know who that'll be yet. Besides, we just know Big Boom AJ, so we won't even really go about that.
Big Boom AJ.
Yeah, he announced on his social that he'll be having a match. So I'm assuming that'll be the 0 hour. But
Of
yeah, so
course it will.
even on the wiki doesn't have who he's facing yet. So the one match I do want to talk about is Ricochet. He's defending the national title in a blackjack battle royal. So we're getting the casino battle royal returning, but as a blackjack. So it's 21 men. It's the battle royal, so this is not like a casino gauntlet. So they do have to throw each other out, just a typical battle royal.
Hmm.
Wondering if they're gonna do it like they did with the casinos, where they're gonna have them come out by the cards, or if they're just gonna do a straight up battle royal where they're all in the ring to start.
I feel like, honestly, I feel as if they should come out differently until everyone gets in the ring and then maybe it starts.
I say they should have done
Or
because they're calling it blackjack. So I'm wondering if it's just gonna be the casino just with a new name since they're doing 21 man.
could be. And that way they can keep Casino Gauntlet for All In.
Well, I mean, they used to do casino battle royals, is what I'm referring to. So
Yeah.
like there was like
Okay.
where they'd come out with by the cards, so it'd be like, oh, here's the spades, and it'd be like four guys would come out and they were the spades, and then here's the diamonds, and all that. So that's what I'm wondering if they're gonna do that since it's called the 21 man blackjack. But you know what I mean? It's not the exact same name. But I feel like that's what it's gonna be. They just changed the name
Yeah.
because then that last
I
guy, the 21, could be the Joker.
could be. And that this could easily be where we see some returns at too. From people that's been
Oh,
injured that should be
100%.
coming back.
100%. I'd love to see Brian
So
Cage, but I don't think he's ready. But
no, I don't think he is. Warlow's not.
oh
Jay
hell
White's
no.
probably not.
I think he's
Um,
been out. Jay White's been out for so long.
he could be. This could be where we see Cope come back. This could be where we see Christian come back.
True. But yeah, I for that one, I really just want to say it because we don't know who's in it. Ricochet retains.
Yeah, because I think this will be a good defense. I do know Jack Perry will be in here for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I can see like
surprised
the
they're not
Rascals
having.
maybe or something.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it should be Jack Perry versus Ricochet in
Well,
this
did they
match.
just do that not too long ago?
They did, but he did pin Ricochet in the Mile High Chaos.
That's true. Mile High Madness. But yeah, that's true.
Mile High Madness, yeah. So
So that should be a good one. We'll see if Ricochet can hold on to the title or not. Tony Storm, Marina Shafir, everyone is banned from ringside, so no one can get involved in this match. I got Tony Storm, but I think Marina should win.
I got Marina.
Okay,
That
I
should
got
be
Tony, but
her.
I think it should be Marina, but I don't think they're gonna pull the trigger on her.
I think this
Yeah,
should be her defining match on the main roster.
I
Her
agree.
singles match.
Tekla Chris Statlander, 2 out of 3 falls. I'm gonna go with Tekla. I think Sisters of Sin will help her retain.
Yeah, Tekla will win. I don't know who takes this title off Tekla, but unfortunately, I don't think it's Statlander here.
Brody King, Swerve Strickland 1-on-1. I want it to be Brody, but I'm gonna go Swerve.
Yeah, it's gonna be Swerve, and I feel like this one after last week, right, or 2 weeks ago, maybe it should be a dog collar match.
Ooh, yes. Actually, yeah, after he hung him, yeah.
Yes, I don't think this should be a regular stipulation. If we're gonna see who's the baddest man in AEW, we need to have a match that shows you are the baddest man in AEW.
I agree. That's actually a good point. Maybe they'll announce that tomorrow. We'll see.
Maybe.
And then we have a trios title match as the new champions, the Don Callis family, take on Mystico and Jet Speed, which is an interesting choice because obviously Hangman's in his title match. So it'll be Mystico. I think Callis family retains here.
Yeah, you're not gonna have them drop the trios titles after just winning them, but it would be nice to see Okada defend his title as well here
Yeah,
somewhere on this card. But Mystico is going to be a good add to the group. They're going to have to change their name from Jet Set Rodeo. Don't know what they would change it to, but I
Jet
don't think Mystico
Stico.
stays.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Jet Stico. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else you could call him. But that should be a fun one. Obviously, I mean, I feel like Jet Speed have been facing them quite a bit lately. Obviously, they talked about a few weeks ago beating them in the tournament, and that's when they lost the trios titles. But yeah, so getting the rematch here should be
Mm,
really good with Mystico, especially.
yeah. Also, I just noticed we was talking about 0 hour earlier. This Ricochet match is on 0 hour.
It claims it on the wiki, but I usually don't truly believe it until it happens.
Yeah, because I mean I got the one pulled up from the AEW page.
And it says
I was
0 hour.
like, yep.
Wow, wow. Owen Wilson, well there.
Man.
That's interesting. Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito. That's gonna be fire. I think Andrade's gonna win though.
Yes, Andrade will not finally get a win. He'll get a solid
Pay per
win
view
in
win.
AEW, pay per view win. He's still, working his way to the world title. Um, Bandito just had a world title match against MJF a while back, right before Bodie did. So you beat someone who challenged for it, just like MJF said. You got to build the reputation. Here's how you do it.
Yeah, and he'll definitely get the win here. And even though Bandito's ROH champion, I don't think that even if he does beat Bandito, he shouldn't face him for that title.
No, there
I
should
don't
be.
want him to
There's
be stuck
plenty of
down there.
people that can take that title off Bandito and Ring of Honor.
Because even if Andrade does win, he'll have that claim like, "Oh, I could face you," but I don't think he should. I think he should worry about the AEW World Title picture.
Yeah, absolutely. I just I don't know what they're set up for Andrade after this because I feel like we already kind of know who's all next moving into the MJF title pictures right now.
I can see them going with Brody and Andrade after, even if Brody loses to Swerve, I can see them going that route. I mean, unless they want to go back with Swerve and Andrade since Andrade beat him by cheating. So
That would work.
yeah, so like, that kind of makes sense too. Swerve and Andrade too.
Number one contender for Dynasty, which is
Yeah,
in April.
that would make sense too. Moxley Takeshita, no time limit for the Continental title. I think Takeshita wins it.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is finally the one Moxley will lose. Uh, I don't think Death Riders will be turning on them. And now I don't think that we see that happen. It possibly still could. This could be where that happens. They can't help. There's no time limit, and they finally see that the leader can't do it again. But I don't think that's gonna be the outcome. I do got Takeshita winning though, unless crazy scenario, Okada finds a way to interfere.
I don't think that's too crazy. I definitely could see that happening. I do think Takeshita wins, and I think it's going to be interesting because if he does win, then it's going to be a switch of a year ago, Takeshita was the international champion and
Hmm.
Okada was continental, and now it's the reverse. If that happens, he'll be the continental champion, and Okada's the international champion. So
Yeah,
that could be a fun little like, oh man, we switched titles but didn't face each other for them. They're definitely building this up for All In August for sure.
they are. And it's gonna be more interesting because they both have two titles. When Okada just recently was talking trash
You could even do this at
about
Double or Nothing.
Takeshita,
Actually, that's a big
and
show
Double or
too.
Nothing in New York, yeah. So a lot of good opportunities they can do from here on out.
FTR versus the Young Bucks. This is their fifth match, sixth match for the titles. This should be interesting.
Yes,
I'm gonna go with FTR retaining, and think we see Cope and Christian return afterwards.
yeah, I agree. Cope and Christian at Dynasty, I think it's in. Isn't Dynasty in like British Columbia or something like that?
Where is AEW Dynasty this year? No, that's not what I asked.
Sometimes Siri don't know what you said. I trust me. I understand.
I have to type it out now.
Um,
Oh, you're right. Rogers Center, British Columbia.
okay, so yeah, you could have them go for the tag titles there. Only a month build up, but it's not really. You don't really need to build it. We
Yeah, it's
know
on
they've had this
April 12th. So yeah, they'd have a month.
perfect
Uh,
timing.
and then MJF, Hangman Page. I think that's all of them. Yep, MJF, Hangman. I got. If this was the, um, wait. It says on the wiki if he loses, he'll never be able to challenge for the title again. I thought that was only.
I got Texas Death on my end.
Okay, well, if it's not, I felt like that was only if. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, Texas Death. I'm just gonna say MJF.
Yes, I have MJF winning either way. Hang
No,
on,
they're
let me
not
ask
gonna.
you
They're
this.
not gonna Cody Hangman. Fuck that. They're not gonna do that to him.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it should be a good pay per view. But yeah, tell people where they can find you at outside the podcast.
So outside the podcast, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all as the Kraken Wrestling.
And for me, you guys can find me Josh Vibes Up on Twitch, Kicking YouTube, and TikTok, Instagram. All my reactions, all that's gonna be down below. So make sure you guys follow me everywhere. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
We did, and I looked it up. So yes, it is a Texas Death match, but if Hangman loses, he's never ever.
So they just combined
Yeah.
them? Fuck me, I'm gonna fucking cry.
That's what I have found. Yeah.
But thank you guys for watching, listening, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
So yeah.